Oh.
So now you're reacting to the soloist D.ear and his 2018 single called Gravity.
So yeah, this D.ear describes the song as expressing the feelings of two people being drawn to each other like gravity,
while keeping to his own unique sound. So this is composed by him.
That's cool.
All right.
I was laughing because it looked. I was gonna be like, he's farting.
What? How do you
I was
get
like,
that
that's
from
a
that?
massive fart, which is really gross.
He's like falling into the universe.
Yeah, but like all that like.
To the moon.
It just looks
and
like clouds
it's also
of
like
air.
The moon is a symbol of gravity.
Okay,
because
sorry.
It affects the,
that was immature. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh, sensual. Ooh, wow, what an interesting sound.
I like his voice. Can you hear the pain?
That snap sounds like wet. It's like.
I can see, like, Gravity makes sense because it's a really slow tempo, so it kind of feels very, like, weighty.
Oh.
I'm like shook. There's like so much going on in the background, but it's so quiet.
Yeah, and it's like really cohesive somehow.
Yeah.
Tuplet.
Wow.
I don't think we're gonna get that again in the song, so I can't count how many notes there were.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was cool. Do you hear there's like a really high note that's just like so soft?
I love that going to the low register and then immediately shooting up exactly 2 octaves.
That one. It's an E minor and you just resolve to F. And it's just like, bah! But it's cool. And he's not using it functionally as a Neapolitan. Yeah, that's weird. Boom, boom.
I wish some of the dominant chords, like the build-up chords, could have been a bit fuller. Like the verse, I do enjoy the sparseness. I think the chorus is rich enough, but there's that in-between section. Okay, let's do it again. I want to say it's 10 notes, so 5 and 5 divided.
Now it sounds like we're in a different galaxy. Just broke
like-
through a sound barrier.
Sounds deep. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah! Oh, he delayed it for a bar and a half. Alright, cool. Yeah.
There was nice suspense there, just like singing when the drop should have happened.
Yeah, there was just like so much that just happened. I don't even know.
There's like crescendo.
You know,
crescendi in the
that's
music.
what it is. There's like dynamics in the way that they've mixed this.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And it like leaves you going like.
The guitar is so nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
right before the one chord.
Ooh, I love that. Wait,
Yeah.
this might be my favorite like K-pop song that we've listened to, but I don't know.
Yeah, that was really, really ooh.
I really like that. First, the way he sets up the beat, it's like he really emphasizes the one, so you get that head bobbing. So it's almost like you're feeling like we talked about this in theory about how there can be gravity expressed through rhythm, especially in harmony, especially the way they emphasize.
Well, that's what rhythm is.
Yeah.
The pull.
So they get this pulse going, but then he takes it away. At this, he'll get in the syncopation stuff, but you lose that grounded sense. So then you feel like you're kind of floating nebulously in the rhythm, and then he hits it strong, And then what I thought was really cool is, oftentimes in other songs we hear how it's like in a duple and they'll go like triplet, triplet, triplet. But I think if I got it right-ish, ballparking in some of the hemiola stuff that he does, because it's in a compound meter, it's already in kind of like a triple, like boom, 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 and he just goes, he goes 4/3. So it's like the hemiola, but on the other sense that we're used to, because we're used to 3/4, but it seemed like it was a 4/3. But I would need to hear it just to confirm that, but it just felt like it was a hemioic effect that we're not used to, so it was really cool, and he just did it for
never in pop music.
Never in pop music, and he did it for like more than just the length of the line just like made it, whoa, it wasn't just like a one-off thing, it was like continuous in a really great line, and he brought that back. It was cool, and the sounds you got were really awesome. Yeah, the sound
about those. What I really liked is like instead of there being like, oh, check out all these like crazy new textures, like whoa, there's this, there's that. Instead, they did really creative and really great like musical gestures with what they already had, because they used they did use like some big textures, but like they weren't varied constantly. And first of all, the guitar playing was sick. That was really good. The tone he had was awesome. The effects, whatever. But also they even had that rap, drum. I don't even know what you call it. But there's a click drum. It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, something like that. But they used that for half a second or 2 beats. But they use it twice, so you get used to it. But it's still surprising because it's a subtle use of it. But they just don't use a lot. And when they use something, it's within what they've already been doing. So I guess my point is, it's just they're doing musical gestures instead of what are usually textural.
Isaac, you should go first.
Yeah, that was very weird. I have to say.
Thank you.
It was just man, it was dense, but I can still get the story with the navigation in rhythm. So when you take the triplet, that kind of goes into the groove. It's like da 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 da. It's like an illusion you could do. It's when you increase the volume, you can see it's you're thrown forward, and I guess that's the attraction. But I thought a lot of the stuff, it's there's just so much in this. His voice. He's very articulate with what he says, so you can get the beginning and middle and the ends of the notes, and you can get a very good picture of what he wants. But then with the chords, and then also an underlying piano that's just dun 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 dun, playing triplets, dun bum 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 bum, and all the other flourishes. Man, that was some dense stuff.
Yeah, especially in the chorus, there's a lot of things going on, but for some reason, when it all comes together, it still feels oddly sparse.
A little bit, yeah.
There are some modern recording techniques used, there are sometimes some weird static noises and stuff. I don't think this is universally shared, but for me, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It feels a little sparse for me. It just feels like it's a little in between. It's the way it's mixed. Something's a little strange about it. It reminds me of Frank Ocean's Blonde, which is an album that is being hailed as one of the best albums that this decade had to offer, and I kind of really don't like it. And the sound that Frank Ocean achieves on that album reminds me of the sound of this album. And I think there's just a specific R&B sound that I can't quite pinpoint that I don't like. And this song hits that.
I'll let you go.
When you play with the rhythm and you make it weird, I feel like rhythm is one of those things that we're so used to hearing pop songs in 4/4 in a simple meter. We're so used to just hearing it that way because it has to be danceable, and people really get the gist of how to dance to simple meter music like that. So when you play with the meter, I feel like that's a way in which you feel it really, really heavily. You feel it really hard. And I really enjoy when songs play with meter because I think that I notice it most out of things, unless it's, a half-step modulation, but that's a different problem.
Did we not get a cadence, or are we buffering?
That's it.
That's it?
What? Wait.
Da da da.
That was nice. It added to the mystery. It was like, oh, now it's
Wait,
to continue.
I'm
Just listen to it again.
offended. My ears are offended.
No, I felt like that fit perfectly.
You're gonna hold me hostage and not give me a cadence? Oh.
But it doesn't, you don't need one because it's forever and ever. Gravity always exists. You know? Just,
okay,
it just like
Miss Existentialist over here. Like all of the motives definitely had this falling, like cascade effect.
Yeah.
Like Gravity. I liked it a lot, especially with like how they mixed all the sounds and like kind of like made a wet snap.
Yeah, cascading
really
effects
cool.
with when you have gravity. Unless it's too low of gravity. But this song had gravity. It had Earth amount or less.
Hello everyone, I'm ReacttotheK channel creator, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed or learned something from it. If you'd like to support us or help ReacttotheK grow, you can do so by visiting our Patreon and help us out by pledging any amount you can. Till next time.